So, departure day is one of those days where things can go wrong if you're not paying attention. Son of a... All right, well, all right, so departure days are always days where mistakes can happen. Things can go wrong if you don't pay attention. So it's always best to use checklists, double check, triple check, everything you're doing. Let's get out of here. So if you couple the excitement of the trip and the stress that we put on ourselves to get out on time and all the other stressors of everyday life and add the RV on top of it, it's easy to make mistakes. Double check, triple check everything you do, because you don't want to ruin your trip on day one, because it can happen. What are you doing, Mel, to make on departure day to make sure that you don't forget anything on the inside?
I packed the other half of the house that I didn't already pack.
Okay. Do you use lists or do you?
Well, I do use lists to get myself ready for this day.
Yeah.
And so last night, the night before, I put the majority of everything in, and then I collect a little pile of bags and things, that I don't want to forget, and then I load those up in the morning.
Put those by the door and...
Yeah.
And then...
And you have things that you can't really take out until the day of.
Right, like the dog and stuff like that.
Right,
Yeah.
Who's having a fit.
Right now, because she thinks we're going to leave her. All right, let's get hitched up. All right, let's see where we're at. Well, we got pretty close. All right. Love this hitch, man. All this stuff stays on here all the time. Secure, positive cam lock. And when we're hooking up, I try to always, hook up what I'm gonna hook up. And then kind of step back and look at everything to make sure that you don't forget something like I just did. Well, we made it 44.1 miles before we had to stop at the store, but that's okay. Another thing you want to make sure you pay attention to is when you are loading up on departure day, that you have all your documentation, some of the parts that we're going to, some of the places that we're going to want to have Miss Honey's shot records to make sure she's current on everything. Some don't care. Just make sure you got what you need documentation wise. If you've got reservations somewhere or a specific route you need to take or directions, make sure that you've got all that stuff together and in a place that you can access it easily. It's a dog. See the RV weenie. Real quick, if this is your first time here, welcome. Consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell and all notifications so you don't miss anything. We got live streams every week for the next several weeks. If you're coming back for another video, then thanks for coming back. Hit that notification bell, thumbs up. If you can think of any tips that we're leaving out or anything that you do on like your departure days to help you remember what to bring or what not to miss, then leave that down in the comments, and so everybody can learn. And you might actually do everything you can do right and something still go wrong. That's gonna happen. It's okay. Just do the best you can do to be prepared and roll with the punches. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There, right there, if you can see it, well, we picked that up courtesy of a truck on the interstate. Of course we did. So, gonna see, I've got a kit to fix it, and we're gonna see what happens. So what I'm gonna try to do is center this over where that crack is, or the point of impact for the should be right about there. So we have this repair resin. Now it's got to drop. It says 3 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 6. Nothing's leaking. And then we're going to screw the plunger in. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes. It says to unscrew the plunger, the pressure plunger, and remove it to release any air, and then push it back in. Screw it back in again. But at this point we're supposed to be able to undo the plunger. Oh man, yeah, we definitely got too much of this stuff on there. Too much resin. Never done this before, so put a little bit in this area right here where I can't get it to. We're gonna lay that down. Basically let it sit there for about 10 minutes. So we'll come back in 10 minutes. It didn't turn out perfect, but it didn't turn out horrible. There's still, let's see if I can get to it, a little dot right there that you can see. The crack part you can't see anymore, where the chip where it hit and it cracked a little bit as far as a linear crack. That's filled in.
there's just a little bit of like a little divot there, not much. I probably need to put some more resin on there and put another patch on the front, but for now I am satisfied with that.
So the only other thing that I could offer up as advice for days when you're packing up or setting up is to make sure you do everything the same way every time. That way you get into a routine, you get into a pattern, and it's a lot easier to not forget things when you do it the same every other time. Make sure that you know what your job is, that your partner knows what their job is. As well, if you see someone setting up at a campground or breaking down, getting ready to leave, just do them a favor and don't interrupt them while they're in the middle of doing that. Because if anybody ever comes up to you and starts talking while you're trying to set up or break down, you're going to notice that it interrupts your rhythm. You forget where you're at. It's easy to miss a step, and that's when accidents happen. Our only ever mishap really so far, knock on wood, was in this exact situation. Someone came up and started talking to me while I was flushing the black tank, and we had a little issue there. I got a video on that. I'll put a link up for it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Leave us a comment. Make sure if you have extra tips that we missed that you put those in the comments below as well. Give us a thumbs up, and I guess that's going to do it for this video. So until next time, take care of each other, love each other, and make every moment count. See you next time, guys.